good afternoon, good evening if it's not. I hope that you're excited for another Matcha Spaces where I'm bringing the big hitters. I got Matty Schmenk. How you doing today, sir? From Avalanche. We're hoping to get an avalanche of alpha today. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, doing well. It's been a good morning so
Oh, I'm
far.
hoping that it keeps
I
me
was a
then.
little off guard with the ledger news, but luckily I don't think many people lost
Oh
funds,
yeah,
and
same here.
I think it's getting fixed
Funny
now.
thing to wake up to, but I know the devs were on it. That's what a 24-hour market is great for. Devs are awake all the time. So good shout out, Matt. Appreciate that. Will, how you feeling this morning?
Great. Yeah. Excited to be here. Matt, thank you for joining us. Excited to chat.
Super duper. Well, folks, if you're plugged into the spaces right now, I want you to know, I hope that you listen to every little thing that we say because there's going to be some things to discern as far as alpha goes. That's for you to discern and your discretion, of course. But I'm going to be asking Matt from Avalanche a number of questions about the ecosystem so you can learn a little bit more and maybe use Matcha cross chain swaps to get onto Avalanche and take advantage of some of these opportunities. All right. I know tis the season for opportunities, tis the season for on chain. So, hey, let's learn a little bit about some more opportunities on the Avalanche ecosystem, which I know is popping off right now, Matt. Why don't you give some of the Matcha Nation who might not be so in tune with the Avalanche ecosystem some color on what's good with Avalanche, what's been popping off lately? How is Avalanche community feeling right now, Matt?
Yeah, so as you introduced me, my name is Matt. I've been at Ava Labs for about 2 years now, which is the servicing firm behind the Avalanche blockchain network. We have a lot going on, to be completely honest, and so we have a variety of new subnets launching here in the next 2 weeks. Recently had one move over from Polygon. It's a gaming subnet, as well as TSM is launching their Blitz subnet here in about 2 weeks. Have a subnet for perpetuals, which is called Hubble, that was supposed to launch this morning, but because of the Ledger news, they pushed it back to tomorrow. That's a fully on-chain central limit order book perpetuals subnet in which
Folks,
the
I'll be
order.
writing this stuff down, by the way. Matt is going to be dropping the stuff that you should be checking out in the Avalanche. Write this down. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
It's all good. So yeah, that order book is done in terms of order matching at the virtual machine level, and that goes live tomorrow now, which will be interesting. And then we have a sports betting platform called Lever that should be kind of in the beta phase right around the Christmas NBA games. I think they're actually doing some sort of like betting tournament related to the NBA games on Christmas, and so try and get a sign up link for that as well. But I guess a little bit of how we're laid out as a team in terms of the application layer. So we have teams focused on DeFi, gaming, NFTs, institutions, enterprise, exchanges and wallets, etc. And so we're really trying to innovate as well as have applications and teams build on us in a variety of different areas. And because of that, and because of our blank canvas nature in terms of subnets, in terms of being able to use any sort of virtual machine, as well as Avalanche Word Messaging is a low level interoperability protocol, we're really trying to make sure that we're kind of catered around allowing for developers or builders to do whatever they might want in terms of blockchain solutions.
Great. Thank you so much, Matt. I, you said sports betting. I'm not going to say I'm a DJ like that, but it is interesting, and I wonder why that use case hasn't played out in crypto more. We'll give a question to Will on that. Will, how you doing, sir? I just want to see what you're thinking about as far as use cases in DeFi right now, and specifically why cross-chain swaps was something we decided to build right now. So, what are you thinking about DeFi? How you feeling about DeFi? And also, yeah, why cross-chain swaps now?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty biased. I'm very optimistic about DeFi. Uh, I think that you know we kind of maxed out Ethereum layer one when it comes to DeFi adoption and like the number of use cases and users that we can support on the Ethereum mainnet, which is a good thing, right? Blockchains are uh, highly redundant and not super efficient networks, and the benefits of that are permissionlessness and censorship resistance. And yeah, so DeFi, we kind of found product market fit over the last few years, and we maxed out Ethereum, and it's too expensive to use. And users are taking the logical next step of moving and adopting more scalable networks that allow them to continue to be a part of the Ethereum DeFi ecosystem, but don't necessarily require them to spend $50 on transaction fees just to do something on chain. So I think the transition to a multi-chain Ethereum ecosystem with Avalanche, and Avalanche is also helping kind of accelerate this transition to multi-chain with supernets as well. I think it's like a very bullish thing for the entire space. We'll now be able to go from supporting, maybe like a few 100,000 people on Ethereum layer one to many, many millions of people that want to access DeFi and do it at a reasonable, kind of a reasonable price to do so in terms of like paying for network fees. So it's super exciting to see this kind of transition to a multi-chain world where DeFi users are interacting with multiple different networks. There's different types of use cases emerging on different EVM chains, and yeah, the time is right for users to have an option to very easily move between the different networks and take advantage of any opportunities wherever they may be located. And so, Matcha's recent launch of cross-chain swaps is a huge deal in my opinion, because our objective is to make it as easy and frictionless as possible for users to access tokens and liquidity wherever they're located. And so now with Matcha, you can purchase a token regardless of the network it's located on, and it's seamless, it's simple, it takes a few clicks, a few minutes, and my hope is that this helps spread adoption of multi-chain, and we get users interacting with more of the applications that exist out there. So yeah, I think it's a very exciting moment for DeFi and for multi-chain and for Matcha. So yeah.
It definitely is exciting for Matcha as somebody on Team Matcha. Thank you, Will. I'm sure it's exciting for a lot of different ecosystem players, such as our partner here, Avalanche. I have a pinned tweet here, folks. If you want to smash the pinned tweets at the top of the spaces, it'll take you to a tweet where you can go check out cross-chain swaps on Avalanche now. Let me explain to you what this means. Like, if you wanted to right now, if you had some funds on Ethereum mainnet or another L2, and you wanted to go check out the arena, or buy some jewel or something on Avalanche, right now you'd have to go through a number of bridges, wrap your tokens, get onto the other blockchain, swap over there. With Matcha cross-chain swaps in one single trade from 7 supported blockchains, including, of course, Avalanche, you could swap from something like Ethereum mainnet, any token on mainnet like ETH or WETH or stables, and swap that into stables on Avalanche. And then, hey, you can swap into whatever you want after that. That's just in one trade, folks. So you can say buy the broken bridges and self-custody the whole way. Really exciting UX, and I can understand why Matcha is excited about that. Matt, I just want to ask you with Avalanche, of course, the whole one big thesis behind Ava Labs is onboarding billions of users into crypto with better UI, better user experience, including the fees and the throughput and the security. So something like Matcha's cross-chain swaps, multi-chain in general, how is that fit into the thesis of what you guys are working on at Ava Labs? How is that exciting? How can you how can you see this help onboard the next billion users?
Yeah, so like you both said, Ethereum is kind of too expensive for 99.5% of users. Personally, I never want to pay more than a couple dollars maximum for gas fees. It's just like throwing money down the drain. I don't know any, like my normal non-blockchain or crypto friends, if you would say, hey, to Venmo me, it's going to cost $20 for a $5 Venmo, like who's ever going to do such a thing? And so kind of is the exact same thing with Ethereum mainnet, at least at this point in time. And so I think y'all hit the nail on the head in terms of the future is multi-chain, whether that's um, everything being interconnected from the L2s to the alt L1s. And so Matcha's cross-chain swaps really makes it feel like you're not hopping between blockchains or hopping between L2s. It's all just interconnected in a seamless experience. And I think at the end of the day, that's how we're going to onboard the next 50, 100,000 million users as blockchain abstraction and not having to deal with kind of the silly things that we have to deal with these days. And seamless cross-chain experience and swaps like this is exactly what's needed.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. I want to give everybody listening in the spaces right now a quick reminder. At the end of the spaces, which is around the corner here in excuse me, at the end of the spaces, we're going to give away 50 USDC to 4 different people. I'm going to do that on the Avalanche blockchain, of course. So please, if you're in the spaces right now, stick around to the end. You're going to retweet a tweet at the end, and we'll pick a winner. So appreciate you sticking around and hearing about Avalanche and Matcha's cross-chain swaps. Will, I think you know the answer to this question. You've answered it a couple times this past week, but let's talk about it on this spaces. Bull or bear? I'm not asking you which market we're in or where we're approaching. Obviously, you're very optimistic about DeFi in general and on-chain use cases right now. But something like cross-chain swaps, when is it most useful? Does it have a time? Is it more useful in a bear? Is it more useful in a bull? Is it useful all the time, and for who? So let's talk about the use cases of cross-chain swaps and the timing around it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I think that cross-chain swaps are an essential tool in the Web3 users toolkit, regardless of the bull or bear market. There is all sorts of innovation happening in each of the different blockchain ecosystems, including Avalanche, mainnet, and all the supernets. And for users to be able to access and experiment with new use cases, uh, they need an easy, seamless way to get to where that opportunity exists. And that is something that is useful regardless of we're kind of in a red hot ripping bull market, or even when things are going sideways and folks are focused on building. So yeah, I really view cross-chain swaps as like an essential tool in the Web3 toolkit. uh, in terms of like my level of excitement for or where I see the market heading, I honestly don't know. It's I don't make a habit of trying to project where the market's going. But what I will say is it feels like there's a lot of cool innovation and like building that's been going on for the last 18 months, and that we're starting to see some of the kind of the fruits of that labor, with really exciting new products that are coming out. We're making progress on kind of abstracting away wallets with solutions like Privy, and making it much easier for people that may be brand new to Web3 to immediately get hands on and start accessing a crypto native product. So I don't know. I'm very optimistic. Long term, super strong conviction. All forms of value will be tokenized. People will be cross chain swapping on Matcha between billions of different tokens. Uh, yeah, in terms of the immediate short term, feeling optimistic about where we're at in the space and all the like genuine innovation that has been accumulating over the last 18 months.
Folks, by now you know that Matcha is a DEX aggregator. This means, of course, DEXs maybe have muscle memory around right now, but also DEXs you don't even know about yet that are popping up. We're aggregating that liquidity as well. That includes on Avalanche. All right. So when you're swapping on Avalanche, if you choose the Avalanche network and you're on Matcha swapping tokens, whether it's cross-chain or not, we're aggregating that liquidity on Avalanche as well. It's 4 million plus tokens. Am I right, Will? It's any token that hits a blockchain, including Avalanche, within 15 minutes of the blockchain of it launching on the blockchain. You can search it on Matcha and start trading it too. So if you are a DGen and you're looking for new token opportunities on Avalanche, don't worry about finding the right contract, copying it in the thing, checking it against the CoinGecko. Just search it. It's that easy on Matcha, frictionless UI, stuff like that, folks. Okay, let's jump into something new in DeFi use cases from Matt. I keep seeing, it looks like it's popping off right now. on Avalanche, Matt. And if you're a Matcha user and you're looking around for new opportunities, I think Avalanche might be the one that's ripe with it. I'm not going to, this is not financial advice. I'm just going to let Matt talk about some of the things again once more. In fact, I have a pinned tweet here at the top of the pinned tweet from the DeFi lead at Ava Labs. That's Luigi. And this tweet has a number of different opportunities as far as stablecoin yields. And once again, not financial advice. I'm just sharing a tweet from the Avalanche ecosystem. But if you have stables on another blockchain and are looking to get yield, it might make sense to use Matcha's cross-chain swaps to get your stables onto Avalanche and take advantage of some of these opportunities. I'm not going to tell you which ones. I pinned some of them in the tweet here. But Matt, let's talk about the opportunities once again. I see even the daily active users are hockey sticking on Avalanche, and I bet a number of these Matcha users here are not some of those users yet. So how can we entice them to come bridge over to swap over to Avalanche? What are some of these apps that they should be using? What are really popular apps in the DeFi ecosystem right now?
Yeah, and so we have quite a bit within our DeFi ecosystem. I think kind of our ecosystem started to really proliferate last bull market in terms of DeFi in mid to late 2021 with Avalanche Rush. That was an ecosystem-wide liquidity mining program, and that brought over a variety of Ethereum blue chips like Curve, Aave, Beefy, etc. And now we have kind of our own native DeFi ecosystem of great builders like Dexalot, Trader Joe, Banksy, GoGo Pool, Wombat just launched a stable swap as well, and kind of a variety of others. And so I think if you go under DeFi Llama and kind of sort by most TVL or most volume, and then explore kind of a variety of websites and DeFi related experiences, you will not be disappointed. Of course, not sure if everything is completely handled for because of the ledger issue this morning. So just be careful while doing it for like the next maybe 12 to 24 hours. But after everything is kind of finalized regarding that, go crazy.
Great ones, Matt. I'm gonna let me get a tweet out here, folks, for you. I found a link to the top DeFi projects, of course, a number of them that Matt just mentioned. And okay, of course, my Twitter wants to bug out. We're not gonna tweet that right now. But on DApp Radar, you can check out the top DeFi apps on Avalanche. Some of those that Matt just mentioned might entice you. And of course, check the pin tweet with the stablecoin yields. It's that easy, folks. Go on matcha.xyz, click the cross chain tab, find the network that you have coins on that you want to turn into coins on Avalanche, and just select the right tokens, select the right networks. Bang, bang. One single trade to make it happen. We're doing that on Matcha. All right. Well, let's talk more about user experience. And then I'm going to ask Matt a question about user experience as well. Sorry, wrong part of the thing. All right, perfect. How, in terms of how UI helps fuel growth, and even sustainability of the ecosystem, keeping participants here, transacting on chain. How do cross-chain swaps contribute to that growth of the blockchain ecosystem, particularly in terms of retention of users?
Yeah. Well, I think cross-chain swaps, as like an essential tool in your Web3 toolkit, cross-chain swaps are important for basically cross-pollinating the different blockchain ecosystems that are out there, and allowing users to more easily move between them. And yeah, I mean, I think as you mentioned at the beginning of the call, for kind of the Web3 veterans in this chat, you probably all have gone through the experience of trying to bridge between different networks. It requires multiple different browser tabs. You have to make sure that you're using the right bridge. You don't want to worry about using a bridge that isn't trustworthy. And the entire process, like the user experience, like honestly, I just don't think I don't think it was good enough for people to really be kind of natively multi-chain. And so yeah, that's why super excited about cross-chain swaps with Matcha. I do think that the user experience is significantly better than the things that I was doing, at least before cross-chain swaps existed in Matcha. My browser tabs have seen some pretty crazy, ugly multi-step processes. So yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think another aspect of Matcha's user experience that's just really nice is, especially for folks in the Avalanche ecosystem, uh, aggregation in itself is very valuable. So Matt mentioned a number of the kind of big projects in the Avalanche ecosystem, different decentralized exchanges. There's kind of some of the kind of big names that are on all the different networks, like the curves uh, and balancers and so forth. And there's also kind of some of the more Avalanche centric dexes out there, like Pangolin, and yeah, there's also Ave there, GMX. So one of the great things about Matcha as an aggregator is that we are pulling liquidity from 14 different decentralized exchanges on the Avalanche mainnet. And so, whether you're bridging between different networks, bridging into Avalanche, or if you're trying to access any token on the Avalanche network, we're tapping into 14 different decentralized exchanges on Avalanche, and it's really cool. It's a lot of work. Our team is working super hard to keep up with the pace of innovation and all the new innovative dexes that are constantly emerging. But I think we've done a pretty good job, and I think our Avalanche support is really good. And so that, in my view, is a big component of user experience. Users shouldn't have to compare different swap products to see if they can get a decent price for a token. They should be able to go to one place and be confident that no matter which token they're looking for in the Avalanche ecosystem, they can get it get it at the best price. And they can get that Avalanche token by using tokens that they have on other networks as well. So I think that's uh, you know this aggregation of different routes and our kind of comprehensive support for Avalanche. I think that is a big component of having a good user experience, especially when people are trying to get tokens at a good price.
Wow, thank you, Will. If you want the best prices, and you don't want to have mega tabs open, cranking your Google Chrome memory, Matcha's the one way to go, guys. And I appreciate that answer from Will. It sounds like, when I look at Avalanche and everything that's going on there, and it looks like they really prioritize building for what the users want, Will. How is Matcha also doing that? How did we do that with cross-chain swaps?
Yeah, well, cross-chain swaps were the number two most requested feature. So Matcha has a feature request board, and anyone can go and ask for Matcha to add a feature, and other folks can go in and vote, like upvote on those different requests, kind of like Reddit. So it's awesome. We kind of have this kind of leaderboard of feature requests that's been ranked by Matcha users, and the number one feature request up until recently was a comprehensive trade history. So users want to see all of their trading activity on Matcha in one place, simply. And so we recently launched that. And the number two request was cross-chain swaps and bridging. People want to be able to move between different networks using an interface that they know and trust. And I think folks really trust Matcha. Uh, and so cross-chain swaps were the number two feature request from users. I believe we had like couple hundred folks that were requesting this. And so I mean that's that's one of the ways that we orient our roadmap is by listening to the users and what are the tools that they need in their toolkit to be successful in Web3 and DeFi.
Wonderful, Matt. How are you seeing that play out in your BD work with Avalanche teams? Are you seeing a priority for like, what users are building? Are you seeing something more like future facing? We want to build what we think users need and don't necessarily want or know they want right now.
Yeah, this is it's an interesting question. I think what we're seeing in terms of DeFi is a lot of these like second order DeFi protocols, meaning, hey, we had like the initial primitives of borrowing lending. We had your stereotypical dexes started off with AMMs, now kind of going to central limit order books, that sort of thing. And now we're seeing the second order of that of protocols being built on top of those primitives, and even kind of fixed income markets, yield stripping, a variety of LST, liquid stake token Fi as well. And kind of in the non-DeFi sector, I think what apps should be building towards is generally account abstraction and making it the best user experience possible, making sure that a user isn't greeted with every little part of the blockchain, and sometimes whether that's social login or a different way to manage or custody their assets, in which, hey, you're not greeted, right, write down this 12 word key phrase or 24 word key phrase, because that scares away like 90% of retail to begin with. Because when you're greeting someone with a message that essentially says you could lose all your funds if you lose this key, then that's scary. I mean, I'm someone that I do still use a traditional bank, and if I lose my password or forget it, I can call that bank or message them and say, "Hey, like it's me," and then you can prove your identity and get access to your money again. But in blockchain, unfortunately, it's not like that. And so I think finding ways to abstract those components away and make it less scary is super important.
Big agree. And also, I'm sure Matcha agrees as well in many different ways. Thank you, Matt. Folks, we're going to do the $50 USDC giveaway here in just a moment. Remember to retweet the tweet that I'm about to tweet. But before you do that, look at the pin tweets I have right now. One of them is to trade history. It's nice, guys. If you want to connect your wallet to matcha.xyz./history, you can see your full Matcha trade history. It's kind of like a Spotify Wrapped, but potentially for all the fun things you did on chain the last few years. The other pin tweet I want to call your attention to, swipe to the left, is the DApp Radar. This is all the DeFi apps on Avalanche that you might want to use. You might want to use cross-chain swaps on Matcha to discover. All right, folks. Right now, I'm about to tweet this tweet, and I'm about to pin it. And to remind you, the rules are: you need to tweet this tweet, or excuse me, you need to retweet this tweet that I'm about to pin. 1, 2. It is there now. All right, click the most recent pin tweet from Matcha. Hit the retweet button, and you must be following the speakers here: Matcha, Will, and Matt. All right. If they have a mute icon or a talking icon like me right now, give it a follow. That is imperative for you to be entered into this giveaway. The main reasons I want you to follow Will is because I think he's a big brain and an important part of the DeFi ecosystem. You should be reading his tweets. He probably might not feel the same way, but I want you to. Matt as well. I want you to stay plugged into everything going on at Avalanche, and Matt's feed is full of that Avalanche alpha. All right. So we're going to get going here in just a second. Retweet that. And before we announce the winners, Matt, why don't you let us know what you're excited about right now in Avalanche? There's a ton to be excited about from the Ava Labs side as well. So yeah, what should people be excited about? What is Matt excited about for the Avalanche ecosystem?
Yeah. So in my own kind of day-to-day work life, I work with a lot of our deep tech teams and teams building non-Ethereum virtual machine subnets. And so we have two that I've kind of incubated very personally and helped through every step of their process. And those being Movement and NodeKit. Movement essentially is a general purpose Move-based subnet. They're starting with Aptos's iteration of Move and then kind of expanding from there. They also have an M2 execution environment rollup that kind of is a part of the Ethereum ecosystem, but their main M1, L1, or application specific general purpose Move subnet is built obviously within Avalanche. And then the other one's NodeKit, which essentially has a shared sequencer subnet that, as the name suggests, they're helping decentralize Ethereum rollup sequencers as well as kind of house them all within the same place, and so they can have kind of native interoperability between them. I guess within the DeFi sector, Hubble, Lever, like I mentioned at the beginning, and I know we're kind of running up on the holidays, and so people might have some free time away from work. We have a variety of great games launching within the next 2 weeks, and so be on the lookout for those. But thank you for having me, and hopefully we can have another one of these soon.
Oh, I know we will, and I appreciate it, Matt. This is a real treat for the Matcha gang. I know they love hearing about new opportunities and especially like ways that they should be using these cross-chain swaps with real things on the other end. So thank you for providing those use cases for us. Will you mention that one? Not for me, of course, just for the gang. But would you mention that sports betting app one more time?
Yep, give me 2 seconds. I'll just link a tweet from their account, and so
Oh,
people can
okay,
follow
perfect. You
them.
know how to do that. Great. Folks, one more time, smash that retweet button on the most recent tweet on the spaces. Do it right now. Hit the retweet button. Follow Matt, follow Matcha, follow Will. Somebody's going to win 50 USD. In fact, 4 somebodies are going to win 50 USD. So yeah, go ahead and pin that tweet whenever you got it, Matt. And in the meantime, Will, there's a lot to be excited about at Matcha. What are you excited about right now?
Oh man, I'm super excited about our roadmap. We got some big items coming up in 2024. I'm not going to spoil the surprise though. What I will say is that for folks in here that are Matcha users, and if there are ways we can improve Matcha for you, and let us know. We build for our users, and we love your feedback. So submit a feature request. Let us know. Let us know how we can make the product even better for you. We already have some plans in store for you in 2024 that will make Matcha a significantly better product, and really excited to talk about some of these things when we're getting closer to launch. But yeah, that's it's gonna be an exciting 2024.
No
Keep your
doubt.
eyes keep your eyes peeled.
If you're not on the Matcha Twitter, I'm gonna let you know. All right, I'm excited. Trust me, they're have to hold me back before I can tell you what's good on Matcha. And as soon as I'm allowed to press publish, you're gonna see what's good, folks. 2 pin tweets to check out before we announce the winners. Swipe over one, you'll see Lever Bet. That is the sports betting app that Matt had mentioned on Avalanche. Apparently, some Christmas things going on. A little bit of alpha from Matt. Thank you, Matt. And then I also pinned a tweet, request a feature. That's maybe the biggest alpha I'm going to give you on the spaces today. If you heard it from Will himself, he said we shipped trade history. That was the number 1 voted feature on the Matcha Canny board. Then we shipped cross chain swaps, which was the second most voted feature on the Canny board. I'm not saying it's all linear like that, but if you want to add your own feature request, it's that simple. Hit the link in the hit the link in the spaces here, or upvote ones that you like. That's obviously very helpful as well, and a little bit efficacy built into there. All right, folks. Without further ado, I know you've been waiting, and I appreciate you sticking around with us. I'm about to announce 4 winners for the USDC prize. Error loading retweets. Stick with me here, folks. We are at the mercy of the Twitter API, which is itself a potential horror story. So give me one moment. Bang. Oops. All right, stick with me here. One moment. Boom. Load that. Oh, bang. I love it when it works, folks. Let's see if these people are in the spaces right now. Full button keyboard. Bang. I see you, sir. Glitchmaster 65. You sound like a Matcha user, Avalanche user. I appreciate you being on the space today. Where you at, Glitchmaster? Ooh, I'm not seeing Glitchmaster. All right, we're gonna skip Glitchmaster. I'm not seeing you in here. Dutchman, bang, nice. Glad you're here. Thanks for sticking with us and hearing about Avalanche and Matcha. Okay, I got Karma AR Fuel. Oh, I'm not seeing you in here either. Sorry. Dark Side. Oh, you are here again. Thanks for being here again, Dark Side. Got you. And then let's go, Rocky. Oh, I already seen you in here earlier. Where you at, Rocky? Where's that profile picture at? I don't see Rockies. Oh, Glitch is back. All right, we're good. Sorry, guys. That's the 4. The 4 is full button, Glitch, Dutchman, and Darkseed. Thank you for joining the spaces. In fact, everybody, thank you for joining the spaces. I see you, Wavel. I see you, Kryptonia. I really appreciate everybody, Vintage, for being in here multiple times and hearing from Matt and hearing from Will. Matt, let's let everybody leave and go into the weekend with one thought that you want them leaving with in regards to the Avalanche, Ava Labs. In fact, whatever you want to plug here, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say thank you for everyone that stuck around during the past 2 years from a user perspective. I know it was somewhat rough in nature, but we all kind of got through it, and hopefully the next 2 years are prosperous in nature, and we all have a little bit of fun.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Matt. Check out all the pinned tweets regarding Avalanche before I go. They're going to disappear when I end the spaces. And Will, would you like to leave anybody with anything you'd like to tell them? Doesn't even have to be about crypto if you don't want to, but yeah, let us know what you're thinking about, Will.
Hey, well, I just appreciate everyone coming in and taking the time to listen in, or just put this chat on in the background. Really appreciate it. I mean, it indicates that you're either already aware of Matcha or Matcha user, or someone in the Avalanche ecosystem. So yeah, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to join us, and I hope it was an informative session.
Yes, thank you, Will. Yeah, once again, you're in the place to be, folks. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to be here with you. And I just want to let you know one last thing, and today is no better day to say it. Please stay safe on chain. Please double check everything. It's worth it. So thank you. Thanks for being part of the crypto space. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Avalanche. And Will, thanks for making time for this. Thank you for being here and listening. And we'll see you next time. Peace.